Hey, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you a new episode of who knows what it's called. Well, we're gonna look at Pathfinder. So I've received various Discord messages, private Discord messages, saying, I've invested all this money into Dungeons and Dragons, and you know, I don't know if I can afford to jump into Pathfinder. And I just wanted to tell you that you can actually start playing Pathfinder uh, basically on Foundry. If you already own Foundry, you can do it for free. And I'm going to show you how you do that and some great resources and stuff. One really neat thing about Pathfinder is they technically you don't necessarily have to buy any books for their core rules and stuff. They actually have a site that they wholeheartedly support that has pretty much everything on it as far as building characters, advanced characters, and everything else. And we'll be talking about that in a minute. But let's first figure out how on earth we get into Pathfinder 2 with Foundry. So first thing you'll want to do is go over to your game systems. I already have it here because I use it for a different thing, but I'm still going to show you what you do. You would click on Install System, and here you could type PF2, and you'll see Pathfinder 2nd Edition comes up. You go ahead and hit install. Now, one really neat thing about Pathfinder 2nd Edition on Foundry is it also has the blessing of Paizo. So the people that actually are developing this have provided basically the bestiaries or bestiaries. I really don't know how to say that. I think it's bestiaries because it's not BEAST. It's just BESTIARY. So the bestiaries are on there. All the different rule books, every class, whether you have the rule book for it or not, is listed in there. So you actually have access to everything, all the spells. Where D&D 5e, for example, only gives you the SRD content, basically Paizo is allowing you to have the whole world. So once you've got here, you go ahead and click install and wait for a few minutes and it will go ahead and install. Then go over to your game worlds and as you can see here, I have my Pathfinder 2e. We're not going to use that one. We're actually going to not install. We're going to create our own, just so you know how to do it. We're just going to call it PF2 or FP2 apparently. PF2. And we're going to choose our system, which is Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And, that's all you really need. You could put world description, all that fun stuff. Add an image, you know how to create a world, I'm assuming. Maybe you don't. I don't know. And then you just create a world. And you'll see that now we have a little PF2. We can launch the world and select the user, game master, passwords blank as a default. Highly recommend changing that when you actually get in there. And wait a second or two. Or 3, maybe 4, or 5. You wait some seconds, and there you go. You're done. You're in Pathfinder 2e. You have everything you need to actually do this, and I just wanted to kind of show you that. So with this, you can go into your settings. I'm going to just add really quick because I have one module that I really like is the module plus, which has nothing to do with Pathfinder, but Module Plus makes it easier to manage your modules and stuff. And then we'll go ahead and say save. And I can't think off my head any others that I really care that much about at the moment. So we'll just do that. So mark as seen. We'll go ahead and close that. Migration's complete. Restart. And we'll we'll go and say yes, global conflicts are good. So there are a whole bunch of Pathfinder 2 modules that you can get. For example, if we come in here, go to modules, there's some specifically for Pathfinder 2. There's a bunch that, you know, like auto rotate. A bunch of these actually are not D&D 5e. They're just core, and so they actually will work with Pathfinder 2. However, before you try very many, I would recommend trying Pathfinder 2 natively, because it has a ton of automation already built in, which is awesome. So if we came in here and did PATH, Pathfinder, so here you can see this is actually one that you pay for. This is Abomination Vaults, this is the beginners, and this is a token pack of the bestiaries, which are really nice tokens, by the way. If I'll show you that because they're awesome. But then if we also just do PF2, you'll see that there's all these ones, PF2 animations, drag ruler integration, which makes it so you can, you know, see how far you're going, and it kind of gives you a visual. I believe it actually automatically has that. Then we have giveth. I don't remember what that one is. Modifiers matter is just one that simply shows you when a modifier actually made the difference. So if you had a defensive thing from a bard or something like that, it would say, oh yeah, this -1 actually saved your butt. Target damage, another one, I don't remember what it does. Token magic integration. This one's kind of nice. It just changes the skin, basically. But all I really care about, I wanted to show you these bestiaries one, this Pathfinder bestiary, because they're really cool tokens. All right. So now that we have that, obviously there's the tips for Foundry that has nothing to do with Pathfinder, so we're going to get rid of them. So let's jump right in and start looking at this. So natively, without anything else, what do we have? Oh, actually there was one more that I like to have in running on here. COMPE. Compendium folders I really like to have. And what this does is it makes it so you can compress the folders so that you don't have to have such an onslaught of information. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that. That one doesn't require any other enabled. As soon as I went in the compendium, I remembered. Lib wrapper. We need lib wrapper real quick. I knew it used something. I wish it would have told me when I clicked on it. Lib wrapper. So we need this guy. Save. Go. Okay. So now what you can see is all these compress, and we can actually click on the folders and expand them. Don't have to have that. I just really like it. So under Actor, as you can see here, we have Abomination Vaults. I did not enable my Abomination Vaults module, which is the entire thing, the whole adventure. So you actually have all the mobs and stuff that are in there, and the hazards. As you can see, these are hazards. Doom of Tomorrow. It's the full character sheet for it, basically, or the NPC sheet. So as you can see, we have all these mobs that are in Abomination Vaults. Age of Ashes, another adventure. I don't even have that one. Agents of Edgewatch. The April Fool's Bestiary. I don't really even know what this is, but they're kind of weird. We have, I mean, if you read some of the things, some of them are kind of weird. But as you can see, we have all that. D&D 5e simply gives you the, I think it's called Monsters, and it's just the 5e SRD one. We have Book of the Dead Bestiary. Once again, that's another core rule book that they're just giving you all the stuff for it, right? Bloodlords, the Blog Bestiary, I don't know what that is. Extinction Curse. Is this where it puts my token? No, this wouldn't be tokens. This is, I don't think this is where I put the tokens. But as you can see, all these different things, including the official bestiary. So if we go in here and look at this, you'll see we actually have nice little icons for these. So let's let's go, well, just kind of go through them. As you can see, it's the entire thing. We have 1, 2, and 3 all included as a free thing. And every one of them, if you click on it, you get the full beast in the bestiary. If we keep going, we have season 1, 2, and 3. I think these are related to whatchamacallit. I think they're kind of the Pathfinder Society, I think. Not 100% sure. But as you can see, all these different, and these are just actors. We even have vehicles, you know, if you have an airship or something like that, you have all that fun stuff. And then you have your iconics, which are the ones Pathfinder is known for. You have Amiri when she's level 1, level 3, and level 5. This is the Barbarian. We have Ezrin the Wizard. The little, I think he's the Alchemist, Fumbus. And so on and so forth. Marcel, the Rogue, and so on. I think this is the Cleric, I think. Is Quinn the Cleric? Investigator, not a Cleric. Sorcerer, Valeros the Fighter, all those people. And then the non-iconics, which are, you know, people from, you know, different things. I mean, it has Ezrin from the beginner box, Kyra from the beginner box, but then it has these other known names from Galarian. So, and that's just the bestiary. Those are beasts that you can throw and NPCs you can give to your character or your players and stuff. We have the items, which is going to be, once again, everything. If we go here to classes, it's not just SRD type stuff, it's everything. Because, for example, the witch is something that is brought to you from other things. This is actually a really good segue into some other resources. So if you go into Google and you type PF2 archives, one of the very first things you'll get is this e2aonprd.com, which is the archives of Nethys. If we go look at those, you'll actually see here, if we go under character creation, if we click on that, whoops, and do classes, this is every class that the game has to offer. If we actually click on the witch, for example, whoops, I clicked feats. If we click on the witch details here, you can see that this actually comes from the Advanced Player's Guide, not even the core rule book. This is the Advanced Player's Guide. And it gives you all the stuff you need, not just to play, you know, a couple levels. All 20 levels are listed here. All the information that is available in any of the books is actually here on the Archives of Nethys. Not only do we have that, we even have the rules and stuff. All the rules, conditions, and all that fun stuff. Feats. Pathfinder has boatloads more feats because you have skill feats, class feats, race feats, or ancestry feats, I think they're called, general feats, all these different types of feats that you have for your characters and stuff. And as you can see, there's a couple of them here. There's a remaining 3,500 or 3,857. So as you can see, this is just the first 50, and you can see it's a general feat, a class feat. Doesn't he say class? I think that's ancestry feat, obviously. General evolution summoner must be a class. So anyway, really handy, and you don't have to buy anything. You don't even have to be a member to access this. But you can actually use this to create your, you know, you have all your ancestries, gnome, goblin, halfling, human, uncommon ancestries, hobgoblin, all that fun stuff. Lots that you can do, and all this is available to you also. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Don't want to jump to that one yet. In Foundry itself. So if we go in here and we're looking at classes, we see that. If we go look at ancestries, we see all those ancestries that we were looking through. Backgrounds, everything is available to you. familiar abilities, class abilities, ancestry features, campaign effects, not sure what that one is, effect burned mouth and throat. I don't know, is that an effect you drag on your person or something? I don't know. So anyway, a lot of the stuff is all in here and automated for you. Not only that, if we go under journal entries, we have domains for clerics. Well, domains for anyone, you know, darkness domain, we can go see who the deities are, and this will actually link directly to, you know, if we want to know who Ashva is, we can click on that and we can get the information. It's really handy and gives you a lot. We have hero point, critical hits and fumbles. These are insane because a critical hit, if we go look, well, we can look at the fumble, for example. We have the critical fumble deck 1 here or whatever, and you can see that you have different critical effects if it was melee, ranged, unarmed, or a spell. And you can see that, you know, if I fell with a spell, you call forth a mist with the effects of Stinking Cloud. Don't know what that is? Click the link and it will tell you about Stinking Cloud. Centered on a corner of your space determined by the GM. So the GM gets to say, this is in your right top corner, and this is what happens. So we have the journal entries for all those, but that's only part of that. PF2E journals, archetypes, deep backgrounds, domains here. Once again, this is going to link into all our different domains, which is basically the same as that. We have our game mastery guide information right here. If we go look at macros, there's a couple macros they give you, some action macros for different actions that you do. You can do treat disease and stuff like that. Then there's also basic macros, earn income, perception, rest for the night, stealth, all that fun stuff. And then we have the roll tables, which integrates with those journal entries. So if we go look at roll tables, you'll see here that we have our critical hit deck and our fumble deck. So if we go into here, it's kind of cool because this will actually jump into the compendium of those different decks that we were seeing in the journal entries right here, the critical hit and fumble. So it'll actually tie into these little guys right here. So if I want to do one, I can do this, hit it, and you can see it's a, if we scroll all the way up to the top, you can see it is a D53 that it's rolling. And if we go in here, we can actually see it's using critical hit deck 49. And you can see if it's bludgeoning, it was triple damage. If it was piercing, it's tenacious wound. If it was slashing, we get a parrying strike. If it was a bomb or a spell, then you can see what it is here. The target becomes incorporeal. Find bestiary, page 346 until the end of your next turn. So that's one place where, you know, it might be better to have the actual bestiary because they don't have page numbers when they don't have pages. So anyway, there's all that. The other thing that I wanted to point out is, as far as, you know, just like regular, you can make your cards and journal entries and all that fun stuff. But with items, they give you the item cards for making physical items, character building, and other type stuff. So you can make your own actions, effects, NPC attacks, spells, ancestries, backgrounds. You can make containers, armor, weapons, all that fun stuff. And then in your character, if we click on character and create actor, you can see here we can make an NPC, we can make a hazard, which is one of the really cool things in Foundry is their different hazards. Whoops. I think you can see these. Hopefully you can. I know in some people's videos when they do drop downs you can't see them, but I believe you can see them in this because I'm just doing a screen grab. But anyway, you can do loot, familiar, and vehicle, and player character. When you create a player character, we'll just call test here. You can see here's our character. Lots of the stuff. This is a work in progress. I think they do multiple updates a month on this thing. I'm always seeing when I click on the updates of systems that more than not Foundry actually has an update. But if you go in here, you can simply, they say it's the ABCs. You do ancestry, background, class. So you would do your A, and here it automatically links to our other things. So if we want to be, an elf or whatever, we just click elf to see what it is, and then we just drag it in there, and now you can see that it turns into the little edit, so we can actually see what it is. And then it'll automatically update stuff. You'll see because we're in alpha, it gives us a base HP of 5. When we click our class, or pick our class, let's just do, I don't know, let's be an elf bounty hunter. Why not? Where did I see bounty hunter? Drag that in there. Boom, bounty hunter. And that might give us some additional things if we go into our proficiencies. You'll see we're trained in survival. Let's go ahead and pick our class now. Let's be a fighter. Why not? Let's be a fighter. And there you go. So we now have our fighter. It increases our health again because fighter actually has its own level. And then of course we have our heritage. What kind of elf are we? We can come down here and look through the list. Or not even what kind of elf. We could be an elf but was raised by orcs or something. So we could say, we are an elf, but our heritage is orc, and we'll get advantages and stuff from that. If we go over here and look at our feats, you'll see now that we have some that are empty, and we get to choose. It will automatically, because we're a fighter, it gave us trained in everything, expert in some things. So a lot of this stuff is automated, not animated, sorry. But it is confusing. There are so many options, so many things you can do with Pathfinder to create your character that just give it such flavor. I mean, as you saw, we're an elf, but we were raised by orcs. So there's going to be things that, if we go look, because we're Badland orcs, we can hustle twice as long as exploring. Twice as long while exploring, you have to stop. You treat environmental heat effect as if they were one step less than so if it's extreme, it becomes less extreme, and so on and so forth. So this is something we get because we're raised by orcs, even though we're an elf, right? We don't get like something like in D&D where an orc goes down, they come back up with 1 hit point, because that would be actually bloodline type stuff. But what I want to point out is this can still be a little confusing to do. I mean, you can go through and you can see the things that want you to do, and you can go click on different things and all that, and you can make a character. But I would highly recommend making your character in a third-party app. So there's one, if you go into Google, type Pathfinder, you'll get or Path Builder, sorry. The first one that should pop up will be this Path Builder 2e. And what's really nice about this is it kind of just walks you through the whole process. So if we go in here and create a character, new character here, and say get started, we can set up our core rule book only. We can say, use all different things. But if we only want core rule book, we can do it there. So here's our ABCs. We choose our ancestry. Let's go ahead and let's be a human. Sure, why not? We'll be a human. Our background, we're still going to be bounty hunter. That seemed like a cool thing. But what I want to point out on ancestry is this, to do bounty hunter right there. Hit accept. And save to G drive is fine. There we go. And then our fighter, actually we're fine with fighter. The neat thing about this is it actually walks you through everything you need to do. So at level 1, you set your abilities, you do your skill training, you set your class skills, and it tells you have 4 abilities. Here you have 3 skill trainings. You have one of these. You have a heritage you get to choose. So if we wanted to be a half orc or a half elf, those are actually heritages of a human, right? Or we could be a versatile or skilled. If we do versatile, I believe it gives you more options. Let's go ahead and choose half orc. So we actually are a half orc. And then our ancestry feat, skill feat. So it walks through all the different things through all the different levels. So if we're just level 1, all we need to do is everything in this box. And then if it says we have spells or something, then we can choose spells, our gear, and all that fun stuff. Everything else here is going to be automated, which is really nice. So let's kind of continue through. Let's see. So for a human, I can't move that window, we get a boost in a free one, it looks like. Maybe 2 free ones. So as a fighter, we might want our strength and our con to be up. And what this does is every time you do an increase on a boost, it actually boosts it by 2. So our strength will go up by 2, giving it a +4 because of this one down here. So this is saying we have an illegal background boost, and this is because we have a strength and a strength. So it's saying you can have a strength and a wisdom, strength or a wisdom. Let's go and take the wisdom, and or actually, you know what? Let's take the strength. Let's get our strength up, and on this one we'll boost our dex. And then our class gives us a boost as well. Strength is definitely going to be our big one. So probably let's keep our strength there. And then finally we get free boosts. And as you can see, we get 4 of them. So let's do strength, con, dex, and maybe wisdom again to get our perception up a little bit. And once we've done that, we can hit finished, and you'll see it says finished. So now we do our skill training. It says we get 3, and it shows us the ones we already have because of our whatever it is. It could be our heritage or our ancestry or even our class. I don't know. So let's see. As a fighter, probably want athletics and acrobatics. And now we get 1 more. Let's be intimidating. So we'll be trained in that. So there are 4 levels of proficiency. Trained is the first one, and that gives you a +2 on your proficiency. So if we go look at our dex, I can't tell if we can see it here. It's probably a 3. No, it'd probably be a 2. But oh, actually, it shows you right here. Dex is 2. Our proficiency bonus is 3. So because we're trained, it's 3. I believe, actually, it's not on this one. There's a little thing that shows you, like on the character sheet, that says that, actually, I could pull it up real quick. Character sheet. I think this will even pull up on our screen here. Wow, we're on 30 minutes. All right, so if I move this down a little bit here, you can see that if you're untrained, it's +0. If you're trained, it's 2 plus your level. So that's why that's 3, is because it's 2 plus level 1. If you're expert, it's 4 plus level. Master is 6 plus level. Legendary is 8 plus level. So your proficiency is always going to be going up every single level. So next level, I might not train further in this, but it'll actually go to 6 because now I'm level 2 plus the trained, which is 2 more. So that's a really cool thing about that. Let's go ahead and choose our class skill. So we can actually increase one of these to expert. So maybe strength-based things. We'll go ahead and take, actually, oh no, we can't do expert. I'm thinking wrong. Let's go ahead back into skill real quick, and we'll undo that one and maybe let's do medicine. It's good because anyone can practice medicine, and you can buy medicine kits that will help you at least help someone not die. So now we can actually go trained in acrobatics as well. So those are those. Let's go ahead and choose an ancestry feat. So as you can see, at level 1, we can choose any of these. General training, haughty, and if you click on them, it will actually tell you what they are. There's an ancestry feat for half orc, that's human. Monstrous peacemaker, sounds interesting. This little arrow right here means it's a reaction. You would be reduced to 0 hit points, but not immediately killed. This is kind of the one, so we can actually have that. That could be good to have. It'll keep us from falling dead every time. And then we have class feats. So we have double slice, exacting strike, point blank shot, power attack, reactive shield, snagging strike, and sudden charge. Double slice sounds kind of cool. Both strikes from the same target. So if we choose that. And basically that is the main part of our level 1 character. You can see it's automatically adjusted our AC for us because we don't have any armor or anything yet. It shows you all your information that you need. Where is so we can go on our defense. Here's our unarmored defense if we're buying armor. So another thing with Pathfinder is you basically are just given gold. You're given 15 gold. Everyone just gets 15 gold. There might be things that might adjust that a little bit, but then you just buy whatever. So if we wanted to buy some armor, then we come in here and we would choose, whoops, we go to gear to buy armor. So we come in here and we could find some armor. I thought there was a search in here. Oh, it's under the filter, I believe. ARMOR. I think that's it. Do we just names, traits, others? Actually, I'm not 100% sure how that works. But we could buy a kit. I know kits are in here. So if we're a fighter, we can buy the fighter kit. Neat thing about this is instead of being super expensive, it's just 3 gold and it gives you various things. It gives you a grappling hook, a sheath, a dagger, hide armor, and all the other stuff kind of in your backpack. And anyway, so that's, in a nutshell, that's this. If we add spells, pets, if we want to add details, here's our feats. As you can see, it's now put them in there for us. Here's your different actions you can do in a turn and how much they cost. So we have 2 actions, we have a reaction, we have an action, a free action. I don't think we have any 3 action type things. But anyway, this video is going on long enough. Basically, I just wanted to show you, yes, you can jump into Pathfinder. If you already have Foundry, it can be completely free. You don't actually have to buy anything. I would definitely still buy books from Paizo and stuff to support them and say we love you. But you don't have to. They actually give you everything you need at no charge to actually get going, and it's not just an SRD. So anyway, if you guys want to know more about Pathfinder and maybe we could create some characters in this so we can learn how to do it, I'm not gonna lie, it will be kind of a process where we're learning together. The core rule book for Pathfinder has you jumping all over the place all the time, so it can be a little daunting and confusing, but I do think it gives you lots of awesome options. Don't think that you need to abandon D&D. I mean, the issue's kind of resolved. D&D is still a great game. And what you have, you can just run with. If you don't want to support them anymore, don't. You know, you can still, because the SRD moved over to the Creative Commons, everyone that's been developing for 5e can continue developing for 5e, and you can use their stuff and play their stuff. So don't feel pressured to join any specific type of thing, but branch out, try new things. You might find ones that you like better. There are things of Pathfinder that I really like. There are some things that I don't like so much. But if you want more videos on Pathfinder, you know, creating a character, creating the different objects, you know, items and stuff, let me know in the comments below. We'll go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. And don't forget to tell other people about my channel. Have them check it out. Spread the word. Share the love. And yeah, that's it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.